The anterior sagittal plane of the core is predominantly made up of our rectus abdominis, also known as kind of our six-pack muscles. What we're going to be doing here is just a reverse crunch. However, we want to make sure this is appropriate for this athlete. A lot of swimmers oftentimes live in extension, specifically butterflyers, breaststrokers, the short axis athletes. So what we want to do is make sure that we're prescribing an exercise that's appropriate for all our people here. So what Chris is going to be doing here, he's going to be reaching overhead, grabbing a medicine ball. That's going to be his base of support. The heavier the medicine ball here, the easier it will be. So when you're starting this off with athletes, you want to make sure you have as heavy a medicine ball as you have. For Chris, who's pretty strong in his core, we have a 14-pound ball. So you may even want to get up to around 20 pounds. Okay? What you can see here is we have a little bit of an arch here. Okay? When we have an arch, when we raise our arms overhead, we oftentimes have a little weakness in our anterior sagittal core. Okay? If an athlete had a flat back, even with his arms overhead, it's likely that they have weakness in their posterior sagittal core, more the back of their hips here. So since he has this kind of overarch, that means he may have some weakness in his anterior sagittal plane. And that's why this is an appropriate exercise for him. So his arms are overhead. What he's going to go ahead and do next is to make sure he activates his core before he even moves. So what we have here is just a foam roll between his legs. That's going to have him tighten his hamstrings to really make sure he's able to get a posterior tilt in his pelvis. So what he's going to do is rock his pelvis up, bringing his pelvis and ribs together. That brings his ribs down as well. Now his back is completely flat here. He's already working his anterior core, these muscles in the front. Then what he's going to do is hold on to the medicine ball and raise his knees to his chest. Okay, so go ahead and raise your knees up to the chest nice and slow, just right to there. Hold here, Chris. So as you see, he's not rounding his back all the way down in kyphosis. He's keeping a nice straight spine, not bringing the legs up even higher. So if you brought your legs up even higher here, lost it there, bring your legs up higher if you can. He gets a little round here in his back. That's not what we want. So bring your legs back down. Let me grab the foam roll. Okay, let's put it between here again. And do that one more time just to the spot we were talking about. So abs are tight, back's flat. Just up here and then down nice and slow. Okay, as you see, he's really being controlled here. He's not rounding his back too much, but he's really focusing on working his anterior sagittal core, bringing his pelvis, ribs together, strengthening that whole group. So once again, this is the reverse curl up, a great anterior sagittal core strengthening exercise for your athletes that have weakness in this plane of motion. Smooth. With the foam roll drop. Nah, that was a tough one.
It's hard to hold.